Hello, I'm Matthew Richardson and welcome to the Whiteboard. A two-time best and fairest winner, captain of the club and son of an Essendon legend, Jobe Watson bleeds red and black and is an integral member of the dominant Bombers side. What makes him tick and why is he such a vital component of James Hird's team? Well, let's break it down for you. It's amazing in this modern era how a player of Jobe Watson's height and build can be such a damaging midfielder. I stood next to him a few weeks ago and interviewed him after a game and I was amazed at where his eye line was. At 190 centimetres, that is very, very tall to be an elite on-baller. And to put it into perspective, let's have a look at some former champions of the past and how tall they are. The great John Nichols, he was a ruckman at 189 centimetres. Jason Dunstall, 1,200 odd goals, 188 centimetres at full forward. Then there's Paul Roos, the great Fitzroy and Swans player. He played centre-half back and centre-half forward. TD, who could forget Terry Danaher roaming across half forward as a centre-half forward at 188 centimetres. Then you've got the great Dermot Brereton, one of the best centre-half forwards of all time, five-time day and night premiership. He's only 186 centimetres. That really puts it in perspective how amazing it is that Jobe Watson can do what he does at 190 centimetres. Let's have a look now at an area of Jobe's game that I think has improved the most over the years. There's no doubt early in Jobe's career he had it a little bit out of whack with his rate of possession. He was winning most of his football on the inside and there were queries about his run and spread, but there's no doubt over the years he has worked really, really hard on his speed and his endurance, and that is now allowing him to get out on the outside and win a lot more of the football, especially when he gets the ball in this position here. His kicking skills are not under pressure. He's not always in the middle of a pack trying to get the ball out, and it's allowed him to flourish as a kicker. One thing about his kicking is I don't think he ever tries to bite off more than he can chew. He always hits the obvious target and does the first thing that comes into his mind, and this is an example there of that run and spread that we probably didn't see early in his career, having running bounces. This one here he actually turns over. Shane Tuck intercepts the mark that was intended for Stanton, and you just see how annoyed he is. He knows that he normally doesn't miss those anymore, and he apologises 2 and 3 times to Stanton just to let him know. I like this one. He intercepts the kick in from Richmond. No hesitation in just whacking the ball back inside 50 with his kicking skills and finding Paddy Ryder. We have a look at another angle. Bang. He's really got confidence now to go for those kicks and pick out targets. Let's have a look now at Jobe's work on the inside. This area of Jobe's game, his work on the inside, is still by far and away his greatest strength. He is a clearance machine. He averages 7 clearances a game, and he's also very, very good in the contested ball situation. That's because of his strong body. He's strong through the legs and hips, and he's always able to distribute the ball out by hands to his outside midfielders in Zaharakis and Stanton. I think he's probably one of the best 2 handballers in the competition, along with Sam Mitchell. Even when he does lose his feet on that occasion there against Shane Tuck, he still has the poise to be able to finish it off with a handball and set his team off and running. He is a very, very dangerous player also, Jobe, when he drifts forward. This is a great weapon to have as an on-baller, to be able to go forward and take marks and kick goals for your team. And Jobe does it as well as anyone. He played a lot of footy as a junior in the forward line, and you can see that. He knows when to lead at the football, and he can find holes when he moves forward very, very easily. That shows me he's a natural forward. The other thing that he does do now is because of his size and height, he can take contested marks in the forward line. He often gets mismatches when he goes in there. His goal kicking, I believe, has improved over the years, although at times he still can miss a couple of set shots. He's got that skip in his run-up. That doesn't worry me. He does that every time, so that tells me that he's very, very comfortable with it. And as long as you do it every time, I don't think it matters. So great that he can go forward. He's averaging nearly a goal a game, and that is a huge positive for the Bombers. The best thing about him, though, is obviously his leadership. As captain of the club, he's one of the best in the AFL. Jobe is definitely a captain who does like to talk a lot on the field, and when he speaks off the field, he's also very, very measured and assured in what he has to say. He's always talking to his teammates, instructing them where to stand in the setups for the Bombers and what to do, and he can do it in a way where he's looking like he's getting a little bit vocal, but that's important to let his teammates know in the right positions. The other part of leadership is when young players do make a mistake like Melksham did there. Robin Nahas is now having a shot at goal. Jobe gets straight over to him, reassures him to keep at it. It was just a skill error. As long as he's getting the footy in his hands, that's the main thing. So I'd love to see your captain doing that out on the ground. He can give his teammates a little bit of constructive feedback. As he does there, he's a little bit annoyed. Kevin Sheedy revealed in the press a few weeks ago that if he was still coach there would be a good chance they would have traded Watson. Well, there's no way the Bombers would let him go now. He's up against the Swans this week, and if I was John Longmire, I'd make sure my midfielders were doing everything they can to block him at the clearances. Make sure he's not first at getting his hands on the footy, although this is almost impossible. If he drifts forward, make sure his opponent can go with him in the air. In attack, he can't be up against a smaller player. It needs to be someone who can combat his aerial strength. So a switch will most likely need to be made amongst the Swans midfielders when Watson does go into the forward line. Thanks for joining us again. We'll catch you next week on the Whiteboard.